Today, I'm here with Dennis Romanenko, an ex-representative from Uber's management team who blew the whistle on Uber's unethical conduct. He is going to talk with us today to provide us with insights of Uber's activities. Hi Dennis, how are you this fine evening?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on today.
It's a pleasure to have you. And so I did want to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Do you believe it is unethical to collect data on your customers without their consent?
Well, when it comes to Uber and other large apps of that same caliber, we always have a terms of use agreement before you sign up,
Right.
as usual, that allows for us to collect certain information and to store certain information. The main concern I had when I decided to reveal some information was that we should not be surveilling people up to 5 minutes or at all after they are done their trips.
Yeah, I agree. It makes no sense to obviously cut it off as soon as you finish offering whatever service you're providing.
Exactly.
So, and actually, why do you think Uber used the Gray Ball program at all in the first place?
Well, the Gray Ball program is designed specifically in effort to enter markets that we're not allowed to enter. So cities and states or countries that have banned us will get gray balled. And what happens is officials, police officials, government officials that are trying to unearth it would not actually be able to go through the proper Uber app. It would actually face a ghost screen, which would show them fake drivers canceling on the trips that they requested.
Wow, they actually do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating. Well, in regards to the competitive environment, what are your thoughts on that with the whole taxi cab issue still standing? Do you believe that maybe now they were right to do so in the first place, to protest, or overall, what are your thoughts?
I believe Uber's entrance was a little bit hasty.
Right.
So they should have gone into a little bit more effort in terms of training their drivers and creating some sort of educational background for these individuals to follow. And that's why a lot of taxi drivers feel a little upset about this, is because they've spent all this time learning the practice and passing all these regulatory tests in order to become taxi drivers. And now that anyone can literally take a course and be a taxi driver.
Of course, yeah, that's what it is now.
But I think the big thing is that times are changing. Every industry is constantly innovating, and one industry that we do not see much innovation in is the taxi business. So, we don't really do phone calls to order things anymore. It's all done online. So if taxis want to stay in business and taxi companies want to stay competitive, they need to change with the times and adapt to the competitive atmosphere that's been created.
That's a good point, and I agree with you, Dennis. Lastly, I did want to touch base on this one important point. What do you think Uber should do, the next steps they should take in order to promote themselves as a more ethical company in the near future?
Well, I think at the forefront, they need to stop this location tracking.
Right.
Because at the pace that we're going, it might be 5 minutes now, but we're on pace to then track for 10 minutes after being closed, 20 minutes, and then eventually indefinitely. And the risk that's associated with that is really a hacking risk, because if that sort of information is stolen, you now have the data of millions of people around the world and their travel habits, and that can be used in a variety of malicious intents. But I think, yes, the biggest thing would be to stop tracking individuals after they're done with the service that we've provided them. But also, we need to take a step back and reevaluate our values as a company. Breaking the law is highly illegal. We can't break the law just because we're a large company.
Exactly.
I think we need to really reevaluate what it means to be a company in the United States of America and in the world, and see how we can become a more ethical and progressive company in the future.
Well said. I completely agree with you, Dennis, and thank you for providing us with your insights.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you. Now we're going to get some insights from students in Seneca College to see what they have to say about the Uber scandal.
It's unethical to track people for 5 minutes after finishing the ride. As long as they are done with the ride, they shouldn't be following the customer or anyone after that. I don't think it's right.
So I heard how they start tracking 5 minutes in when you're finished with the app, and I believe that's, well, personally I think it's unethical because not everyone reads the terms of services and they don't agree with the terms. A lot of people just don't read it,
Right.
and then it violates some people's privacy, whereas you don't know that Uber tracks them.
Well, for me, like, I actually didn't know about it until you guys mentioned it, but my opinion on the matter is the point of the service is to take you from point A to point B, and that's it. They don't have any say on where you go or to track you or any of that.